What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a special Monday edition of your favorite podcast. That's the Forever I Love Atlanta Sports Podcast. Two hometown guys talking hometown sports. It's your boy, Coach Mario, and my co host, Don. What's going on, man?
What's good, y'all? How y'all doing this Monday evening? Kind of feeling sick this tonight. I don't know why, but I'm gonna get through the show with you guys. So we're coming back tonight to the Atlanta Hawks draft picks from this past Thursday. So if you are new to the channel, there's a red button that says subscribe. Please hit that button. We really appreciate it if you subscribe to our channel. That way you can look at our content. We shoot a show at least once a week. Sometimes we may do two, sometimes it may be three. It all depends on what's going on in the Atlanta sports world. Also, hit the like button. Share this video, share this content with other friends who are also fans of Atlanta sports teams. And also, if you're watching this show at a later time, please comment, and we will get back with your questions or your takes. As always,
Come hot.
it's your hometown sports podcast. And we just, man, Cubs up 1-0. Anyway, we have a special guest with us tonight, Daric Clemens from ATL Sports headquarters or HQ. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Derek.
What's going on, y'all? Yeah, like you said, I'm Daric Clemens. I write and also do a podcast series for ATL Sports HQ. Make sure you check that out. Ready to get on with the show.
All right. Glad to have you on tonight, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
All right. Also, guys, in case y'all don't know, we are on Spotify and we are also on Google Podcasts. The links are in the description. I know some people say, well, why the new episodes or the latest episodes take a long time to get on Spotify? Because I got to download and upload to Spotify and all that. It takes a while. But if you can come to our YouTube channel, you get it fresh off the presses. So, hit us up on YouTube first, and then I put it on. It's on its way. It's on its way. So, so, Coach, what did the Dream do this week?
Man, still struggling, man. Wednesday we got a W. We played Indiana, won by 10, 78-88. Friday we were on the losing end, 88-76 versus Connecticut. And yesterday against Washington on the losing end, again 89-73. Uh, I don't know what to say, man. Team just don't have the mojo that we thought that they would have, in the preseason, man. So I don't know what's going on, man. We just not. Team's not very good.
I'm thinking that I'm really thinking it's the coaching, man. And I don't know if Devontae watching right now. Um, I don't know if he watching right now or not. I'm looking at the chat to see if he's in. Let's see.
I didn't see him post yet.
He ain't post up, but yeah, I'm
Yeah,
I'm just
I
thinking
see that.
I'm thinking it's the coaching. That's what I'm thinking it is. So hopefully they can turn it around, but by the time they turn it around, it may be too late. So
I think it might already be too late.
all right. So the Braves had a good week
Mhm.
as usual. Monday we played the Mets and we won that game 12-3. The next day it's pretty much we like traded places with them and they beat us 10-2. But we came back Wednesday and we beat them 7-2. Um, we was off Thursday. We went to Washington and we beat them. Well, no, they beat us 3-4. And then Saturday we beat them 13-9. That game Saturday was a great game. Everybody thought we was end up losing, and the next thing they know, they came. And then the next morning You know, they say, "Oh, the Braves won." Yes, the Braves won. Right?
Oh, Dansby.
Yes, and then also on yesterday we beat them and we closed out the series 4-3. It's lately, man. The offense has been pretty much bailing the bullpen and the defense out, man. So until they get this fixed all the way, we're gonna continue to have close games like this. And then right now, we're playing Chicago. The Cubs are up 1-0. So also to news in Braves country, the team sent Fote down to AAA. That was pretty much way overdue, if you ask me. Dallas, he showed potential in his debut on Friday night, but we ended up losing the game. So hopefully, as a couple of weeks go by, I'm pretty sure at the All-Star break, he'll pretty much be in his own. Josh Donaldson, he wins his appeal. He will not serve his one-game suspension. And also, there have been several Braves players that have been named to the All-Star finalists. We'll find that information out who's going to make the cut to represent the National League sometime sometime this weekend, I believe. The players that were named as finalists for the Braves: Freddie Freeman, Josh Donaldson, Ozzie Albies, Dansby Swanson, Ronald Acuna, Nick Markakis, and Brian McCann. So those are your 7 Braves players who were named as All-Star finalists. Also, United still in the U.S. Cup tournament. On Tuesday, we played the Columbus Crew, and we won that match 3-2.
On the college news, pretty quiet week for everybody outside of the Bulldogs. Jeremiah Holloman, rising junior receiver, was dismissed from the team. It was an incident stemming from last year, actually, with a young lady, but I guess the details finally came out and was worked out, and Jeremiah was released from the team. On a lighter note, the Bulldogs did have 2 signings, signed 2 receivers, one out of Fort Lauderdale and also Corey Wren out of Florida as well. But they lost a commitment in an O lineman, Akinya Okinabi. I don't know if I'm saying his name correct. He decommitted and flipped to Texas A&M. And the story is that he has a sick parent and he decided to stay closer to home. They're going to Texas A&M. Pretty quiet this week on Georgia Tech end. Today was the start of dead period for college recruiting, so probably be quiet probably until August on the recruiting trail. So you see guys committing right now, but you won't see a lot of offers and stuff going out right now. That's pretty much on the college end this week.
All right, and it's been kind of quiet in the Falcons camp. Only thing that got buzzed this week for the Falcons was Matt Ryan's Instagram post. He posts champs. If y'all listen to the Falcons Audible podcast that was out a couple of weeks ago, and I guess Matt Tabik, he asked if he can put one word. He asked Matt Ryan one word that could summarize the 2019 Falcons, and Matt Ryan said champs. So Matt Ryan, he posted that on his Instagram page. Well, he got a lot of national attention from that, and a lot of our fan base, we pretty much compared that post to his post in 2016 before the season started. Said that we have a really big team, 6 million fans strong in the city. Let's go get some big rings, somewhere on the lines of that. And we already know what happened in 2016. We pretty much, a quarter away from winning the Super Bowl, but we already know what ended up happening. But I don't want to go down that lane. But anyway, he pretty much said that Matt Ryan said to ESPN that we have a good shot this year. If everybody's coming back from injury, the team drafted well, the Devontae Freeman, he's feeling good. So, hey, we can pretty much strike lightning in the bottle again this time around. Not only that, we can pretty much finish the job this time. So that's pretty much it. And like my quarterback said, if he say we're gonna be champs, guess what? Guess what the expectations gonna be this season for a lot of people. Gonna be
Get
champs.
F and set.
Yeah, it's gonna be champs. But my you already know how I am, man. I'm pretty much a type of fan that keeps his expectations normal. Here's my take: if we can win a division, we can control our destiny. That's it. If we can win a division, we can control our destiny. So I'm not going to sit up here and say Super Bowl or bust or anything like that. We just got to see how everything plays out. But I'm pretty sure Matt Ryan's going to have a good year as usual. So, all right, now we on to the Hawks. But before we get into the Hawks, let's go into our chat.
Shout out to everybody in the chat.
Look
Look like
got 8 people watching. Go ahead, man.
Devontae has joined as well. Yeah, Devontae, he commented on the dream, and he's pretty much saying it's the same team from last year. And he said it. He putting some of it on Tiffany. He's saying that she's not playing like the star that she possibly could be. But yeah, yeah, Devontae, and appreciate you, Bob Lancaster. And Dougie Fresh is in the chat, talking about Bob Lancaster, the coach. Yeah, we're all disappointed. Like Devontae said, they're bipolar. You never know what you're gonna get, but our expectations were high coming into the season. Just looking at the roster, yeah, and based off what they did last year.
Yeah, I know it's the same coach that took them to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. But sometimes, man, when you lose in this many stretch of games, you can't just keep pointing the fingers at the players like that. You see what I'm saying? Like it has to be. You gotta look at the leadership of the team. You gotta look at the coach.
And Devontae, I guess he wanted to comment on the Jeremiah Holloman as well. He says, simple, don't hit women and think you're going to stay on the teams. Don't care how good he is. Make an example, put him, and don't squander your opportunity. Yeah, I mean, you hate to see it because, I don't know JJ Holloman, but I have met his mom before. I don't know his mom. I've met her before. I know people that know them. I've heard that he's a very good young man. They're a good family. Things can happen. I just hate it. I don't want to excuse his actions. I hate it for the young lady. I hate it for him. I hate it for all parties involved, man. Just cooler heads prevail. Just everybody, keep your hands to yourself. Period. Keep your hands to yourself. Period, man. That's all I can say. Men and women. Yeah.
And Dory Fresh, she said, "Thank God Wizards was stupid enough for passing on Cam Reddish."
Yeah. And Juke, what up? We see you out there too. Appreciate you joining us in the chat, Juke. All right, but let's get into some Hawks talk. What's going on, Daric?
Yo,
Okay. So on draft night, this is what happened on draft night, you guys. So the Hawks, they acquired the Pelicans 2009 fourth overall pick, and we also got Solomon Hill and their 57th overall pick, and future second round pick and it's future second round pick from them as well. And in return, we gave them our 8th overall and 17th overall pick. And we also gave them our 35th overall pick in the second round. And we also made a trade with Philadelphia. We traded our 34th overall pick for 2 future second rounders and the 57th overall pick as well. So this is how the draft played out for us. Round 1, pick 4, we had picked DeAndre Hunter, pretty much a wingman out of Virginia. This was pretty much a lot of people sitting up here saying, "Oh well, why he got on Lakers gear? Why it says Los Angeles Lakers?" The Hawks cannot say anything about Hunter until July 6th. That's when their trade with AD and the Pelicans will be official, and that will grant us the rights to Hunter on July 6th, you guys. All right. What are you guys' thoughts on Hunter?
Let Derek go first.
I mean, I think. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, we hear
Okay. Okay. All right. I mean, Shellick. He just did what he had to do, and he traded up to get that fourth pick. And I think Hunter was the perfect player to take at that position because he can affect the game on both sides of the court. And I mean, he's not great. I mean, there's a downside to his game because right now he's not great at creating his own shot, but his offensive game is not lacking. I mean, he was one of the most efficient players in college basketball on the championship team. So he can definitely score the ball when needed, and it just seems like he plays his role perfectly, and that's what the Hawks need. But I mean, where he specializes is on the defensive end, and I mean, he's just the anchor, and that's what you need on a team that's you want to take to the next level. And I mean, that's what we're trying to do, and we're starting to get to the point. I don't think we're there yet. We got to let these young guys fill out the NBA, and it might even take them a year or two to even look like it was worth to move up and to pick these two guys, and then Fernando at the 3 spot. So I think Hunter will be really good, but I think it will take him a year or two to really fill in and get his offensive game going and still be able to be that anchor that he is on the defensive end.
Okay.
I I I think so as well, man. And just with this team as well, man. Just all the moves. I mean, it just reminds you of the Warriors. You know, we drafted young talent, and the way that we're shaping it, we're gonna have two max spots for next summer to add hopefully a big time free agent or two. You know, so you have to love the moves the team's making, man. I mean, I don't think I've seen anything negative on Twitter about the moves, man. Everybody's on board, and you have to like it. You have to respect it. Getting Hunter and Reddish, like, man, I mean, who could be mad? Who could be mad? You know?
And at first, like me personally, in my opinion, I was hesitant on the move to move up to get Hunter because I wasn't as high on him as I am as Reddish. But I mean, he knew that Reddish would still be there when we were at 10. And I mean, they complement each other very well because they have two different unique styles of the game. One specialized on offense, one defense. So I think they'll be great together.
He's long. He has a defensive minded. He's very defensive minded, and he has that championship pedigree. He just won, a championship with Virginia. There were some, and it was a minority of fans who questioned this move and question this pick. Or who is DeAndre Hunter? And I'm saying to myself, well, clearly y'all don't watch any Final Four basketball, any college basketball. I just thought everybody just watch, the Final Four because as a casual sports fan, that's what everybody watch. And I guess no one watches the Final Four anymore. So, but I think this is a great pick for the team because we need to go on defense. We
I,
have
I
we
think
have the shooters.
the thing that's going to help Cam and DeAndre out when they first come, you know, we have Trey, who's going to get a high volume of shots, and we have Collins. We're expecting them to be 1A and 1B. They Cam or DeAndre doesn't have to come in and save the franchise this year. You know, RJ Barrett, much more pressure on him. Not just even a player, playing in New York. He has to become and be a star. You know, Cam and DeAndre don't have to be stars this year. If they are, great. But if not, like I say, they're still secondary role players right now to Trey and John Collins. So that takes some of the pressure off them. So I believe that's going to just let them play and develop. And nobody's expecting me to come and score 25 every night. because that's not their necessarily role right now. So I think that's gonna allow them to flourish and just be comfortable and and play basketball.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like that point you made because I mean, we already start. It seemed like we already started to create a play style of how we're going to play going on. So I mean, they're going to be able to find their role into the offense, and they're not being forced into it and have to make quick adjustments.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're gonna be what 3 and 4 scoring options right now. They're not gonna be a whereas RJ Barrett is gonna come in and he's gonna have to put up 20 shots a night coming in. Cam or Hunter aren't gonna have to shoot the ball 20 times a night coming in. Matter of fact, they probably won't be shooting the ball 20 times a night. You know.
yeah. Well, Hunter, only thing we just asked him to do come in to just look, find a way to make turnovers and get the ball back in the offense in the
Yeah.
offensive hands. That's pretty much what we asked him to do. So, but let's go in the chat before we go to talk about the other people. We talked about Cam a little bit, but we really go dive into him in a second. Um, Fosky, he said I like Hunter, really excited for him, but I wouldn't have picked him over Culver, but still happy with Hunter. And Devontae said, I see why they compare him to Kawhi, but I know that's unreasonable expectations as a rookie. But they have similar games. And I seen some people comparing him to Kawhi, but I also seen some people compare him to Draymond Green. I don't know if y'all seen that or not.
Yeah, I've seen both.
I,
Yeah.
I I like the Kawhi comparison better because his perimeter defense. Draymond is more interior.
And
DeAndre Hunter,
and Hunter ceiling is way more higher than Draymond.
he's going to be more perimeter and wing defender than he will be guarding the paint as Draymond did. But hey, either one. If he turns out to be Draymond, good. If he turns out to be Kawhi, excellent. you
Exactly.
know.
Um,
All right. Dewey Frazier said Hunter will help the Hawks mighty on defense. Jonathan said, well, Hunter, I think he will be a big time presence on the defense with him being awesome on the ball D and can switch
On any position.
versatile. He was versatile in Virginia. So
Yeah.
all right, and then Devontae said, oh, I love the who is players because they show that they they the man. Okay.
Yeah.
The way Fresh
I
said
know what you
Hawks,
mean on that one.
yeah. The way Fresh said Hawks can now cover up trade defensive liabilities with Reddish and Hunter. That is true. All right. And Devontae, he also said, what y'all think about the rotation outside the starting five? Hmm.
Um, I I think that well, me and Devontae has already talked. I want to see what big man we're going to add because I think we're going to play Trey in like a center field, like I'm sorry, almost like Golden State does to me. And like a lot of times you find that Steph Curry isn't necessarily guarding anybody. He's kind of guarding like the top of the key and playing in the passing lane. So he's not necessarily, stopping guys from going by him. Um, I think that once we add that other thug that I was talking about last week in the middle that'll knock somebody on the behinds, I believe that the rotation will I believe we have those interchangeable parts. I mean, because you think about it, we have shooters and defenders. So I believe we can always have a shooter and a defender at the 1 and the 2. We have an athletic guy in the 3 and a thug in the middle, and we're setting up to have those interchangeable parts. We just need that one more 4 or 5 rim protector guy. That's all we're
And we're
missing.
gonna talk about that potential thug we drafted too.
Yeah, and
A lot of
yeah,
people don't. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But and then also people forget that we also drafted Amari Spellman last year as well. Hopefully, he's playing D League right now. But if he can do well this the NBA shape, I think he'll be a good rotation as well. So,
Derek.
um,
Well, I want to ask Derek, do you think Krabby is going to is going to be on the team, or do you think that we're going to some kind of way package him and he's not going to actually be a Hawk this year?
I think we're gonna let him. I think it's gonna kind of be like a Jeremy Lin situation where he
Okay.
plays. He's in the rotation. He gets some time. I mean, he has that veteran game, and I mean, he's a good shooter and he can stretch the floor very well. But I think if these younger guys, just like we seen Trae Young last year, he started to step up at the end of the season. And so we was like, oh, we don't need Jeremy Lin taking these minutes away from him. So I think it would be similar to a situation like that. But I think he can add that 3-point shooting. I mean, I think he shot close to 40% about a year ago. Not last season, he was hurt most of the time. But I mean, he's obviously a knockdown shooter. And I mean, he earned that money when he got paid a few years ago. So I think he can help a little bit.
Okay.
All right, and the next pick we made, and a lot of Hawks fans was excited about this. A lot of people who was at the draft party at State Farm Arena, they said the arena erupted when this man name was called overall 10th pick of the draft, and the Hawks drafted Cam Reddish out of Duke. What are you guys thoughts on Cam Reddish?
I being honest, I didn't love his some of his shot selection last year at Duke. I thought that sometimes his shot selection wasn't the greatest, but once again, that goes back to on this team, he won't be looked at to take that shot. Basically, he's not going to be looked at to have to be the guy to take that 1-on-1 to win the game shot. I think he can come and just concentrate on defense and let the offense come. And I love the pick at 10. I love the pick at 10. Think Cam has a ton of potential. And like I say, he can just come here and just not have to worry about being a star, man. I believe he's going to flourish in that role.
All right, Derek.
I was actually surprised to see the reaction that most Hawks fans were happy with this pick. I was on opposite, and I mean, I'm ecstatic because this was my favorite player going into the draft, and I think has the most skill outside of the top two players in Zion and Morant, and I think there's even an argument there with with them two too. But I mean, I think he's just an all around player. I mean, he's just a bucket getter, and he finds tons and different ways to score the basketball. And I mean, he really didn't get to showcase that at Duke because I mean, obviously they had Zion, RJ, and then you throw the Tyus's brother, what's his name, Trey, I think. But I mean, they had all them pieces. I mean, he didn't sign up for that. He was the first one to commit to Duke. So he thought it was his team. And then, I mean, he adapted. And that kind of shows what kind of team player he is. And he's willing to do what the team needs of him. So he really didn't, fans really didn't get to see his talent. And I mean, if you just watch the games or look at stats, he probably doesn't stick out because, I mean, he didn't shoot the ball very well from the three. And I mean, he just wasn't as efficient as you would want a lottery pick to be. But I mean, I just think him and Trae Young are going to be a dynamic duo going forward, and add Collins into that because with the big man role. But I mean, Reddish, he's just the way that he runs on transition is just a fluid game. And I mean, Young, you know how he likes to find anybody, and I think that would just be great together. And he can take some of that pressure off of Trae Young because of his ball handling ability.
Yeah, I like what you
We
just said because Cam did have to play third. I ain't say second fiddle. He had to play third fiddle with Zion and RJ. So you know that goes like I said, that goes to show you what type of team or anything like that, or say this is my team. He know his role, and not only that I've seen some stuff on CBS Sports after they drafted him. It was like a negative reaction with those analysts. But hey, and then also on top of this, a lot of people didn't understand like he played hurt. He was injured. He had a growing problem. So that also could have hindered his shooting his shots as well last season at Duke.
And his
'Cause
form,
he even
his form
said,
is
go ahead.
his form. He has a good shooting form. It's a little maybe on the slower end. He maybe speed it up just a little bit, but I mean he's a shooter, and the NBA trainers they'll get to that. And I mean you've seen the development that we've had. And I mean, maybe it's not a bad thing that the big media is negative. I mean, we seen what happened last year. Everybody was negative towards Young. And what did he do? He flipped the script, and I mean, he just bought out.
Yeah, I don't really pay attention to CBS Sports. Even when they cover NFL draft and stuff, their stuff is all negative and everything. So if it's not the first overall pick, like they go crap on it anyway. So I'm thinking like you guys really don't understand the system we have in place here in Atlanta and what we did with Trey Young last year and what we did John Collins, even Kevin Herter. These guys developed. These guys development, and like some people said that it was gonna take Trey Young 3 years to develop. This man has broken like so many records as a rookie.
I mean, you look at Kevin Herter. Even LP said it himself. In the beginning, it was hard for Herter to earn minutes. Where towards the end of the season, he earned his minutes and he was a role player. Just shows his growth, you know, through the season. Same with Trey. He was just the number one pick, so Trey was going to get to play through his, where Kevin was going to get benched a little bit. Trey, your number one pick, you're going to play through it. But you see, as the season went on, what Trey got better. He got better every month.
Exactly.
We just seen how much development it was through the season, and I mean, can't even imagine a whole entire off season with the groups. So
Exactly.
I think it's gonna be fun to watch.
I'm saying we only just saw a taste of how Trey Young can be.
And also we got to think too. They didn't even go through training camp with John Collins. What, he missed the first 20 games, right? And so he didn't even participate in training college. In training camp. So that chemistry that we saw them develop, they developed that on the court during the year. So just imagine how much stronger they'll come back starting off this year with knowing each other playing last year and having a whole off season to spend with each other. And those two guys too seem to really like each other too. If you read and been hearing, it seems that Trey Young and John Collins really seem to like each other. Seems like they get along off the court from what I'm reading. So you hope that that's going to be a strong pairing.
That's the big thing about this team. I mean, they just all seem to be together, and I mean, they didn't. It was a brand new team last year. I mean, a lot of people weren't on that team the year before, and I mean, just the way it was like the most chemistry I've seen from a Hawks team, maybe even more than the 60-win team a few years ago. So I mean, they've all came together very well, and I think the three rookies will come in and just continue on with that.
All right, let's go back into the chat. 1K Mook, thank you for joining us tonight. He said Trey gonna get Rookie of the Year. We hope so. I know some of y'all listening to the podcast and watching the NBA awards at the same time. So if y'all hear anything, just put it in the chat so we know what's going on. Appreciate it. Jonathan, he also said NBA awards on right now. Hope. He said Wizards still ain't got no GM and they reached on Rui. How you say his name? Rue
Hachimura, yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Instead of picking Cam Reddish, this is why bad teams stay bad. I like Rui. Like I know, I saw him play at Gonzaga. He's a good player. Hopefully he's good for their system. That's why some of these when teams pick and y'all say, "Oh, that's a reach." Well, you got to understand that certain teams have a system in place, and they're gonna just like in NFL. You're going to pick a player that will fit your system instead of just picking best player available. Devontae, he said, "How do y'all feel about the Kent Bazemore trade, and what do you think Evan Turner's role is going to be next season?" We're going to get to that in a minute. Matter of fact, that's after we go cover the draft picks. And 1K, okay, he talked to Devontae. All right, Dewey Fresh said Evan Turner would be backup point guard, and Turner was the point guard when Lloyd Pierce was with the 76ers.
Yeah, I think that's what he's going to be. Come in, distribute the basketball. I think that's going to be his role.
Yeah. Juju said Cam is smooth. just looked so easy for him at 6'8", 6'9". And he said, I like Hunter more. And one K Movie say predictions on our season this year. I don't like to make early predictions. I like to see what's going to end up happening during the summer league, and then in preseason when October come around, that's when I make my prediction. But the only prediction I will say right now is I know we have a chance to make the playoffs as an eighth or seventh seed next year. You know, we know what happened with the Magic. Magic went in. What 41 more wins than that. Because we had a lot of games that went to overtime and we just lost in the overtime. So I'm not gonna give you a record. I'm not gonna give y'all a record right now. I don't know if any of my any people on here is gonna give a record right now as well. So all right. So our last pick for the draft came in the second round. We traded that pick. We moved up with the 76ers. We picked Bruno Fernando out of Maryland. He's a powerful and athletic center who pretty much was projected to be a top 15 pick. Your thoughts on Bruno?
Hey, come through and knock somebody on their behind.
That's what Bruno's
We
for,
need
man.
that. Yeah, your name Bruno, bro. Your name Bruno. I need all 6 fouls used 82 games a year. All six, Bruno. Use all six.
All right, Derek.
Oh, I think this could end up being a steal. One of the steals in the second round. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought it was great that Travis moved out to get him. He's just like y'all said. I mean, he's just a monster, NBA body already. Not scared of nothing. He'll do all the dirty work you ask of him. And I mean, he's just a flat out competitor. And I mean, I was shown at Maryland. And I think when he gets to the NBA and he's playing with the top notch players, he's just going to want to go out there and compete, take their head off. He wants to go at their neck on both ends of the floor. I mean, his offensive game needs polished. I mean, it's nothing to be excited about right now, but we don't really need him for that right now. We need someone that can hold it down low. And I think he can be that. He could be a solid piece for us.
All right. Yeah. So Bruno's going to potentially. Well, we know he's going to end up being our center for the team, and Bruno, but me and Coach, we went and we looked at film on Bruno, and we like what we saw. You know, we like what we saw, and we said, okay, we need this energy, we need this type of player on our team. You know, so we hope that he should develop well under Lloyd Pierce. Hey, and we should be good.
Those,
Um,
like you said, those. I mean, you said that energy. Those type of players, like those junkyard dogs. I mean, that just goes to the whole team, and I mean, everybody feels it. And it's a big momentum shift each time they make a big play. They get on the floor. They get a tough rebound, maybe even a hard foul or anything. I mean, it helps the team.
yeah. Well, that was our picks, you guys. And I know last week I said something on the lines of we was only gonna pick what 3 or 4 players out of the draft, and hey, we picked 3 players. That's all we really needed right there. We didn't need a lot of rookies on the team. We already a young core. All right, we already a young core, so that's pretty much it. Now, some news that happened today, a few hours ago. The Hawks traded Kent Bazemore to Portland for Evan Turner. Um, some people were upset about this because they saying it doesn't make any sense because we didn't get a future pick, or we're not saving that much money because we're only saving what 600,000. But here's my take on this. We knew, and even Kent knew that his days are in Atlanta were numbered. All right, his days as an Atlanta Hawk were numbered. Why keep him on the team? Why keep him on the team for this upcoming season? One, he might not even play that much because Lloyd, he loves to play his rookies so they can develop. and they can have the NFL, the NBA experience. When you have a player on a team who knows his days is numbered, how you think that's gonna correlate with him on the court? He's not gonna do well. He's not gonna have that chemistry with the other players because he know he has 1 foot out the door. So this trade right here to me made sense, and I liked it. I keep a person on the team, we know we're not going to keep around. We are still rebuilding. This is what happened. When you rebuild, you have casualties.
Especially a wing player that will take minutes away from these young guys that we see are going to be effective in the future. I mean, Bazemore most likely wasn't going to get re-signed after the season. So I mean, it makes sense for us. I mean, we needed a backup point guard. Jalen Adams was not going to cut it. And the way that Evan Turner, he's had experience with the Blazers running their secondary offense with the secondary team. And I mean, I think he's going to do well. 6'7", can play defense. So you can throw him out there with Trae Young, let Trae Young play off ball, and let Turner go out there and guard the point guard or whatever to save energy for Young. So, I mean, I think it's a good pickup. I mean, I don't think he'll be anything that just makes the team so much better, but I think he can help.
Derek, I said that last week. I think that's why the trade makes sense because we wanted a bigger on-ball defender, a bigger point guard. So I believe that's why the trade makes sense because you're not going to play Bays at point guard. So I think that's why the trade makes sense for us because we get a longer guy who can guard at the top of the perimeter.
All right. Now, on to the now, Travis Link. I took my hat off to this man. I really think he's a genius. What he done this year's draft, well, these past couple of drafts, he strategized all of his picks. What do you guys think about this man?
Like I said before, I mean, he building us in the image of the Warriors, and we see what they're doing. So I'm excited.
I mean, he's been great. I mean, we got to see how they turn out, but so far it seems like he's aced both of the drafts that he's been a part of. And I mean, he's done well in the trade. We're going to be able to have 2 max slots in 2020 year. There's not even a lot of free agents that I see stand out in that year, but still, I mean, getting all these expiring contracts that all expire in the same year is great for us. And I mean, he's been great in his few years of showing for the Hawks.
Just got word. Just got word that Luka was named the offense or the NBA Rookie of the Year. So
Deserving.
I know, people gonna rip it. We're gonna see it on Twitter, but I don't really think we could. We wanted it to be trade, but I don't really think we can be mad if Luka got it. I mean, you look at his numbers as well; they might have both been deserving. I don't think we could be mad.
I'm not upset, but here's my thing. Here's my smoke on this. All right, Luka, dude had Dirk as his mentor. All right, he had Dirk as his mentor his rookie season. Traded, Vince Carter. Yes, Vince Carter was a great, veteran presence on the team, but Trey had to do this all on his own, man. He had to learn the game all on his own. Now, yes, like what you just said about a lot of people's going to sit there and get upset about it. Hey, we already know when you upset Trey, what's going to end up happening.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be worried about a Rookie of the Year award. I mean, there's bigger things and bigger expectations for him. And I mean, no matter what, I still think the Young was the right choice for us. I don't think Luka would have had the same impact on the Hawks and vice versa. But I mean, I think one thing. I mean, I think Luka did deserve it. I mean, Trae Young, he caught up, and I mean, there's definitely an argument. People like to push it off, but one thing, Trae Young was on First Take this morning. One thing he said that should be in the consideration is the amount of games he played. He played in 81 games, and all he missed was the last game of the season. I'm pretty sure it was, or maybe the last one before that. And I think Luka missed about 12 games. So he said that that should be in consideration. I mean, him going out there every night and competing at the highest level. But I still think it was definitely a battle. But I think after you look through it all from the whole year, Luka probably deserved it more.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, we know how the NBA is, man. Congratulations to Luka, and congratulations for the upcoming season for Trae Young, because I already know he about to show out. So, Coach, go into the chat again before we go ahead and go into the other questions.
Where were we? Jonathan Folsky, he was saying Luka is going to put a bigger chip on Trey's shoulder. Dougie Fresh said the Hawks did Bays a favor by trading him to a playoff contender. And yep, Dougie Fresh, Bays and Bembry playing backup point guard was going to be hard to watch. Yeah, very hard to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Let Zone 6, what's going on? I can't pronounce his name. The Hawks GM is the opposite of Ainge. Ain't no point in acquiring assets if you're never going to cash them in. Ooh, shout at Danny. And in 2 years, nobody remember who the rookie of the year was. You're correct on that.
Yeah, exactly.
And Travis is going on. Travis, he said you better give him credit for what you said, Don.
Yeah, me and the Travis, we talked on, I guess, draft night. We talked on draft night about the Cam Reddish pick. And yes, it is true, like Cam was pretty much third fiddle on the Dukes squad. So, but that's pretty much all we talked about. So that's what I think that's what is that what you're talking about, Travis? Let me know. All right. And Doe Fresh said everyone from the 60-win team is now gone. That's what happens with the rebuild, man. When you rebuild, no one is safe. No one is safe. So, Burns, how you doing? How you doing tonight? They said, which rookie on the team do you think will have the most success this year?
I'm gonna have to go with DeAndre Hunter just because he's more effective on the defensive end, and it's easier to be effective early in your career on the defensive end rather than offense. It's a big learning curve on the offensive end.
I think so too. Yeah,
I agree.
Oh, Travis said he was talking about Dirk as the mentor, is what he was saying. The comment that you got from him.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I knew that myself too. Come on now, Travis.
Let's cover these final.
We both agreed to that. But yeah, we did talk about that the other day.
Yeah. So let's cover these final few topics.
But yeah, in case y'all don't know, Travis, we talk a lot almost on a day-to-day basis about sports. In the chat, in the Facebook chat. If y'all ain't joined the Facebook chat, please join. Y'all missing out. Y'all really missing out. And also, he's a big Duke fan as well, so he know more Duke basketball than I do because I'm a Michigan fan. So anyway, so team that has potential to play better defense this season. What you guys' thoughts on that?
Definitely. It's what we needed. We don't have any problem scoring the ball. We need to be able to stop people. We don't have problems scoring the ball. We can score the ball plenty.
Yeah, I agree. I think we still need that tall rim protector. I think we'll find one, but
definitely.
It will definitely be way, way better than it was last season.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the next question was what do these picks mean for Omari Spellman? I don't, I don't think I like Omari Spellman. I do. I did like him. I don't see his role. I don't see his role right now. I don't see his role right now. I don't. Be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really see his fit.
Yeah.
He's I mean he was I haven't seen him since the season really, but I mean he was out of shape and he got in shape at the beginning of the year. He did get in shape, but then he gained a few more pounds, and I mean he just looks slow on the court, and he's not elite, or he doesn't really specialize in something that puts him over the top and is something that will make him get minutes. So it's hard to play a player like that, and I think there's better options right now. But that doesn't mean that he can not develop and become someone that can get a few minutes out there. But I'm not really high on him right now, but hopefully he's able to change a little bit.
If he can develop into a solid bench player, that's all we need right now. All the talent we done drafted, this year. Look, his best bet is just to if you can be a good bench player, a solid bench player, we good. So let's get back into the chat. Um, Juju said, "Who's playing the two Hunter or Cam or Herder or Cam?" I'm sorry.
I think at the beginning of the season, I think Herter deserve and will start and be the two guard. I think Reddish will come off the bench, and then Hunter will be at the three. But I do think that will change. I don't know when. Maybe not even next season. It might be the next one. But I think Herter will at some point be the guy, the 6-man guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I think it will. Eventually, it's going to end up that Kevin Herter will be the 6 man. That's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah, at least the beginning of the season, it's he earned he Kevin Herter should, at least in the beginning of the season get that, starting role, and then they'll start, you know, bringing in Cam as the season goes along in that spot. So, Travis, he said, as a diehard Lakers fan, I'm very impressed with what the Hawks have done. I hope these guys can glue together and make the postseason. Hey, I really see it happening this year. If these players can develop, you know, enough to get us to win 40 or 40 games, we good. So, Dougie Fred said should have been co-rookie of the year for both players. Hey man, let Luca have it, man. Let Luca have it. We have bigger fish to fry here in Atlanta than the rookie of the year award. And he also said, Herder playing the two, he can be Klay Thompson 2.0, needs to be more aggressive on offense. He can make any shot.
I agree. I think he can. I don't. I think it's too early to compare him to Clay. I mean, that's one of the best shooters of all time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think he has some of the same qualities, just not to that level yet.
A poor man's Clay.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Also, team also traded away picks for cash. Big free agent signing next year. I talked to Devontae, Matt Mike from Matt Mike Sports, and also Juke earlier today about this. I'm on the fence with signing a big free agent next year, and I'm gonna tell you why. We have a good young core, pretty much that can, if developed right. Looking at it next year, if we make the playoffs and have a good run, why bring in a big time free agent? We can just continue keep building through the draft, and we can give these players that's on our team now, give them give them extensions on their contract while they still young.
Especially Next year, there's a few names, but there's no one that really stands out to me that would fit well on the Hawks team. I mean, some of the headliners are like Kyle Lowry, Hayward, Millsap,
Oh
I
Lord.
think DeRozan, and then like Andre Drummond and stuff. So, I mean, there's really no one that stands out like, we need to get this guy and he'll take us to the next level. So I don't think we should force a lot of fans. I mean, they want those big names because I mean it brings that excitement. But I mean, you don't force that onto a team because it can destroy the whole thing you started to build. And I mean, we have a young core set right now, and we added a few new pieces from the draft. So I mean, I think it's better to when you're working the rebuild to bring guys from the draft rather than try to find that big name and try to get the rebuild over as quick as possible.
Yeah. You build through the draft. You have longevity in building a dynasty versus you just bringing in somebody for a couple of years and try to hit lightning in the bottle. You may not have that success like some teams try to have. You know, a lot of people said, "Well, we should bring KD in." And, I was on the fence. I was on that crowd saying, "Okay, well, KD might be a good pick to come to Atlanta," but now he had an injury. You got to think about that now. Will he be the same player? You know,
Now,
so
before he got injured, I would take Kevin Durant whenever, however. I mean, that's just one of the best players to ever play the game. But now that you're talking about an injury that could set him back at his age, I mean, it's hard to put all your chips in a bag and say, here, give him all that money. I mean, you never know what's going to happen if he will ever be the same.
yeah, all right. And so on draft night and then the morning after, a lot of people, I guess, tweeted their thoughts on the draft, and some people came out and said that, well, I'm officially now a Hawks fan, or I'm about to start back cheering for the Hawks. And you got some hardcore fans, like me, who's been a fan pretty much since the Omni days. I don't know if y'all. Well, I know you remember the Omni, coach. But Derek, I don't know if you remember the Omni back in the '80s, back in the '90s.
That's
But
before my time.
yeah, yeah. So a lot of people, got mad and sit up there and said, "Well, if you want a fan of this or that, you can't." And I was joking on it too, but here's my take on that. You know, a lot of people in the NBA, a lot of people bandwagon all the time. It's more common in the NBA than the NFL and MLB because you got some player, superstars who jump from team to team, and then they jump with that superstar. So if there's going to be a lot of fans that's going to, I guess, be Hawks fans now, hey, that's pretty much giving our team more exposure. If you ask me,
Yeah,
I
I'll take it as long as you're showing up to the games. I mean, that makes us win more games. I mean, if you just saying you're a fan from the sidelines, I mean, I don't really care about you, but you showing up to the arena, and that's what matters.
I think in today's game with the way free agency is now, people are more a fan of players. So you're a fan of that player, and it makes you a fan of that team because the player plays for that team. So I think nowadays that people get caught up. You're not a fan of the team, you're a fan of the player. So people right now, you have Duke fans. You have Duke fans who are a fan of Duke. Okay, they like Cam Reddish. Okay, I like the Hawks now. Like, well, no, you really like Cam Reddish. And so whatever team Cam Reddish got drafted to, you're gonna like that team. So I think that's what people get caught up in nowadays. Uh, it really doesn't bother me, but I think that's more what it is. People are a fan of players more than the team. Because I told you, I thought I was a Lakers fan. I thought I was, and then when Kobe retired, I realized, oh, okay, I just like Kobe. I don't care about the Lakers, but I thought I was a Lakers fan until I realized that, oh, I don't care about the Lakers. I like Kobe. So I even got caught up in it myself. Yeah.
yeah, like I always been a Hawks fan, but I was a big Gary Payton fan back in the day when he played for the Supersonics. So
Yeah.
you know, but yeah, if we get new fans in, that's fine. As long as they don't bring the toxic environment to our team. We already have enough of that already. in our city and in other sports in the city. Like that's all. That's all I ask. Like just leave the hot takes and the ignorant comments and all that stuff. Just leave that. Leave that where you came from. That's all I ask. And yes, what Derek just said, go to the games. Go to the games. So all these thousands of Hawk fans just came out of nowhere, or these people who was pretty much on sabbatical for 20 years coming out saying, "Oh, I'm here for the team again. I'm about to go. Wear my 1998 Hawks jersey. Hey, go to the games. So when I go to some of the games this year and they closing off the top bowl, that means hey, some of y'all just talking noise.
Hey, Derek, I'm about to tell you. I'm about to show you my age right now. I saw Larry Bird and Kevin McHale play at the Omni against the Hawks. Yeah, I saw Larry Bird. I saw the Celtics play
That's
at
crazy.
the Omni. Yeah.
You got me beat by a long shot.
Yeah. All right, we got a few more comments. Derek, this is you. Hassan Whiteside and Drummond headline the centers for 2020 free agency. And Lex Zone 6. How many realized? How many of us realized we weren't Bulls fans after Jordan retired? I know, right, Lex? Exactly. That's another one. You're right, for real. Same way. Like, yeah, I'm a Bulls fan. I ain't cared nothing about the Bulls since Michael left. That's a very, very good one, Lex.
Mm-hmm.
And Dougie first said Cavs fans switched to Lakers for LeBron, and we all saw that fool last week with the with the Cavs with the what was the Cavs jersey on, talking about don't be switching to Lakers fans now that we got AD, and he had on the Cavs jersey. Like, bruh, like you're a walking contradiction. We all saw that video on Twitter. That was a trip. Wasn't that it? He had the Cavs jersey talking about the Lakers, like talking about don't be bandwagon and like, bruh, you got a Cavs jersey. Yeah.
Man.
All right, but that was it for the chat. We thank everybody for joining us in the chat. Chat was live tonight. We had at one point we had 11 people in the chat. Thank y'all. Thanks for everybody who joined us in the chat.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all, man. We really do. Derek, go ahead and plug your information for everybody.
For one, thank you for letting me on the show. I mean, it was fun. Always good to talk Hawks basketball and NBA. You can follow me on Twitter at Daric Clemens, and then you can follow the site I contribute to at ATLSportsHQ. Make sure you check out some of our content. We'll have a podcast ourselves on YouTube Wednesday. We'll probably start around 8:45, so be sure to check in.
Appreciate you, sir.
And ATL Sports HQ website is in the link in the description. So if you want to go check out their content, the link is in the description. You just click on that, and it has all their I guess it got all y'all YouTube. You got your YouTube link there. It has your Twitter link. It has all y'all information in there, and also everybody who writes and contribute for the ATL Sports HQ. So y'all go check them out, you guys. We will be back this Sunday with the episode. We're going to talk about the Braves. And then a couple of weeks after that, we're going to have a show that we're going to talk about the Bulldogs. And then we also going to have a show. We're trying to have a eulogy episode with Atlanta Legends.
Hopefully, really want to put this together, y'all.
hopefully we have that. If not, we'll talk about something. But
we'll find something to talk about.
We'll find something to talk about. We'll find something to talk about. The problem is, me and Coach, we just need to, go on a little vacation and just clear our minds. So
and y'all, we in Atlanta, so we know we can talk football all day, every day. We try to give a break because we know it's about to come July, August, and we're gonna be talking heavy football, heavy. And we know y'all dying to talk about football, but we try to give all the sports a chance. And we know football runs the town, so believe me, we gonna get the football. We just try not to cover it every week.
Exactly. All right. So with that being said, if you're watching this video at a later time, please hit us up in the comment section. Please hit that like button. Also, please share this video with other Hawks fans or any fans of any of our sports teams, Atlanta sports teams, that is. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. As always,
Come holla.
it's your hometown
Hometown
sports
Sports
podcast.
Podcast.
All right. That being said, y'all have a great evening. We will see y'all again Sunday evening. Y'all take it easy.